guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at the Dream Giveaway Garage because this is a very special moment for me, and I know for many of you who are fans of Subarus, this is their new Subaru WRX STI, and the best part, S209. So this car is going to be added to their wonderful list of vehicles that they raffle off to help raise money for charities and whatnot, and also to make your dreams come true by getting something like this. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about S209, the S series of Subaru's lineup. This is the first time ever in the history of Subaru that they have brought an S model to the United States, and this time it's just for us. This car is not being sold anywhere else in the world. Now, the first time that they ever did this was all the way back in the year 2000, Y2K. It was known as the S201. And from that iteration, we have the different S models, 1, 3, 8, 9, so on and so forth, that now features today. What's amazing is that out of all these different special models, the Type RA, everything else that Subaru does, this is the most powerful WRX STI ever produced by Subaru. And remember, they're just gonna make 209 examples of this vehicle. Now, if you're wondering, well, why does the car cost what it does, and you're looking at the spec sheets and you're looking for, a 0 to 60 that's under 4 seconds and 500 horsepower, I'm gonna take you around the car and I'm gonna show you really why this car is so unique, so special, and how really it's truly a one of a kind. Also during this video, I wanna talk about, well, should I be looking for an S209? Should that be my next car instead of some of the other vehicles that I've been thinking about? But let's go ahead and dive into this 2019 S209. First off, before I even talk about the features of the car, the reason why we're saying 2019, this car is being sold as a 2019 model. Even though we're about to crest into 2020, this is a 2019 model. That's what it says on the window sticker. Right off the bat, one thing you're gonna notice is that this Subaru STI is actually wider. It's about 1.2, 1.3 inches wider than your standard STI. Of course, the way that we're getting that extra width is by these flared fenders. Not only are the fenders flared, but you're also gonna get these aerodynamic aids called dive planes or canards. These have been specifically placed, the size and everything, to give more downforce on the front of this car, because this car, you take it to a road course, this is the most lethal STI that you're gonna be able to drive on that course. And what's awesome is they did a lot of the development work at Virginia International Raceway. So kind of cool, especially if you live by that track. Now, the rest of the front end here, this headlight housing, that is the same LED, full LED headlight housing. It has the adaptive headlights. They turn with the steering wheel. You got your daytime running lamps, but when you drop down, this is all new for the S209, and it's only available on the S209. So you have a functional air intake, metal grating, which is really nice, and I like these horizontal slots that they placed here. A little bit of chrome. Now, when I first saw the chrome at the Detroit Auto Show, I zonked it. I didn't like it. Now that I see it here at the Dream Giveaway Garage, I'm really digging it because it's kind of like a black chrome finish to it. So I kind of like that touch, and it helps separates it from any other STI. We drop down, of course, you're gonna get the STI front splitter. Now, this splitter is the same exact splitter that's on my Type RA. It's also the same splitter that you can buy in their accessory catalog, but it comes standard on the S209. When we're looking at the grille, same exact grille. What the difference is you're gonna get that cherry blossom red trim on the inside, and then of course the S209 badge. This is unique to this car. Another thing I want to point out to you is that on the exterior of the car, besides the Subaru badge, that's all you're going to see Subaru. Everywhere else it says STI, because what's unique about this car, it's actually not built at the Subaru factory. It's built at the smaller Skunk Works shop, which is STI, Subaru Technica International. Window sticker says it and everything else. Now, when we go up onto the hood, you're going to get that traditional air scoop. This does have still the top mount intercooler. Some of the changes that we're going to talk about that are in that engine compartment are going to be things like, guess what? A larger turbocharger made by HKS, bigger injectors, different fuel pump, different intake system. That's all gonna get us that extra horsepower, but we'll get to that in a second. So like I was saying, the chassis, the frame is produced at Subaru, and then they wheel it over. This is actually, for the most part, hand assembled at the STI Skunk Works facility. Now, when we come around the bend, you can see that addition of those diplanes, those canards. This part, of course, is plastic. Here's something that's gonna separate this car and what justifies some of the cost. As we go into the fender, this part is actually metal, plastic metal. What that means is that this whole portion of the fender is made specifically for the S209. That means Subaru had to do retooling to make this piece. As we go into it, you can see the beautiful flared fender look. The last time that they did something like this was on the iconic, legendary STI 22B. And if you don't know what that is, I'll do a review of that, or you can go and use the Google to find out the stats on that, because that's one of the most iconic, probably the most iconic Subaru of them all. Now you do have this side venting here, a little bit of gloss black. This is a functional piece that's gonna help draw hot air from out underneath the hood. We drop down, and what you're looking at, now you might say, well, Joe, those look just like your Type RA wheels. You are correct, they look just like my Type RA wheels, but they're not. These are actually the widest wheels ever offered on a Subaru. It's 19 in diameter and 9 inches wide. So that's why we have the flared fender, is because you actually have a wider track to help grip the racetrack. The car sits on specific STI springs. It's a little bit lower than your standard Subaru. Also, at all four corners, STI tuned Bilstein dampeners. Now I know if you have a Type RA, or if you got like a Series Gray, or you're getting that Series White for 2020, those have Bilsteins. These are different. So it's been tuned specifically. When we drop down, you can see that you're still gonna get that same 6-piston Brembo caliper, but if you notice, you see the cherry blossom red there? These pads are more aggressive for track duty. So these are little touches that add up to the bigger picture. We go through the fender, you can see the badging here, loud and proud, S209. There's that STI insignia, breaking it down, Subaru Technica International. The rest of the car, as we continue, there's gonna be a lot of similarities between the STI you have. Now, just like on the Type RA, we have black mirror caps, we also have the full carbon fiber roof. Not only is that about shaving around 8 pounds off the weight of the vehicle, it actually helps lower the center of gravity, and it gives us a more rigid structure. Another addition, just like the front splitter, we have the side skirt extensions. That is a piece that is from the Subaru catalog that you could add to yours, but on the S209, it comes with it. But there's that carbon fiber roof. We keep working our way back. You'll notice the flared fender pieces on the rear of the vehicle, because like I said, all four corners, the track is wider. These are plastic, like most of the front, but like I said, that fender is metal. We keep working our way back. Look at just the intricate detail to design. And like I said, this was all put together at the Subaru factory. Another thing, different from your Subaru, if you have a 2019 STI, my Type RA, these are 265 with tires. So that is also gonna help put more rubber to the road. And you can see even on the rear calipers, there's the cherry blossom red. So it's a forged wheel, it's a lighter wheel, but it's also wider as well. You have the rear spats. That is another Subaru accessory that's been added automatically. It goes all the way around. These are functional pieces. There's nothing on this car that's just for show. It's looking good, but it's also performing better. Carbon fiber rear wing. Now, if you think that they took the carbon fiber rear wing off the Type RA, you're wrong. It's not the same wing. If you look at the end plates, these are called end plates. Not only does it say S209, that makes sense, but there's a totally different shape. This boomerang shape here is totally different compared to the ones on my Type RA. The Type RA are more rectangular-ish. And we're gonna be doing a side-by-side review, so stay tuned for that. We get to the back, one thing you're gonna notice, no Subaru badging. This is specifically an STI. And what's fascinating, they had to do specific crash tests, the whole 9 yards, to be sold here in the United States. That's the kind of work that Subaru did when developing the S209. And as a Subaru fan, that makes me want it even more, the extra specialness. Now we drop down, rear diffuser is the same. You do get the cherry blossom red trim, of course. This is different. You're gonna have a freer flowing exhaust. Not only freer flowing, but these tailpipe tips are actually larger in diameter. And what's fascinating is that they're actually made by a Japanese jewelry company, and each one is hand polished. So if you're hoping to just get your S209 and then put an NVIDIA exhaust or something like that, you might want to hold off, because there's a lot of hard work that's been just put into the tailpipes, let alone everything else. But I love the S209 badging, the STI badge on the other side. That rear wing is adjustable, but let's get to probably the biggest talking part of this car. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what we're working with. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. Now, one thing I want to stress is that this car does make more horsepower, and it does have a little bit worse fuel mileage, to the point to where there is a gas guzzler tax on the S209. But here's the amazing thing: Subaru pays it for you. So even though it's on the window sticker, you're not actually being charged for that portion. That is something that Subaru figures, hey, we did the work, we don't want to stick it, make the price even higher, we're going to pick it up. But let's go ahead and dive in and see exactly what we're working with. EJ motor, it's been around since 2004 here in the United States. That's what we still have. Now, one thing I want to point out right off the bat is that S209 badge. First time I've seen a badge number underneath the hood. This is number 153 of 209. But what you're going to see that is different is a larger HKS turbocharger, different fuel injection system, upgraded fuel pump, a remapped ECU, a lighter weight flywheel, a totally redesigned intake. And then, like I said earlier, that low restriction exhaust, that's gonna give you the number of 341 horsepower, 330 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated, of course, still to the 6-speed transmission. And you got some extra touches here. So when we're looking, let me show you some of the differences. First of all, I wanna point something out. I'm gonna have Tom kind of focus just on this bolt right here. If you notice, there's 3 different colors. What those colors represent is that those are 3 different individuals that made sure that this one bolt, let alone all the other ones that are not underneath the hood, under the car and everything else, were at the proper specification. That is different than any Subaru. If you pop the hood and it is all over the place, that's why I'm saying part of the extra cost of the S209 is the hand work that actually went in. Now, when we look underneath the hood, this whole portion is going to be different from your STI. I like the way that they put the STI badging just everywhere, because they know who this car is for. This system, this whole air box right here, is specific to the S209. It's larger. The diameter of the air intake tubing going into the plenum is also larger. That's going to help flow more air in. Obviously, another thing that's all new for this S209 since 2007 is, you see these hoses right here? Intercooler sprayer. So when you're doing your track day, when you're out on the road, you pull back on a paddle behind the steering wheel, which I'll show you in a few minutes. It will spray water onto the intercooler to help cool the charge, to make sure you're getting the most power. One other thing I also want to show you is in the back portion, you're getting from the factory that strut top brace there, that right at the strut top mount there. That's going to help stiffen up the front of the car, but we're also going to stiffen up the back of the car as well. Very, very interesting. Underneath all this sheet metal, I can't even show it to you right now. One of these days, we're going to get an S209 up on a lift. We're talking about different control arms. We're talking about totally different sway bars and anti-roll bars and everything else. But why don't we go ahead, fire up this S209 and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, this is awesome. I love having these special moments, and I love being able to share them with you. We are inside the brand new US only S209, one of 209 copies. Now, I know you're probably wondering, well, Joe, I've been living under a rock. I don't know how much this S209 is. You're looking at an MSRP around $64,000. Now, yes, that is almost double the price of a base STI. But if you understand what this car is about, you could see where they're coming up with that value. For a lot of people, they would just blow it off and say, forget it. But there's a lot of unique touches on this car that make it very special. Let's go ahead and see what is different. Now, when we go to the door panels, you still get the great Alcantara. You do have the gloss black on the controls by your for your windows and your locks, but you get the white contrast stitching. That is something different than the standard STI. On the standard STI, you get the red. Now, when you go from the door panel to the dash, still have the same dash material. This is totally unique. So this had to be retooled on the assembly line to produce these cherry blossom red trim pieces. I love the S209 badging over there. Of course, you're going to get your dual screen setup where the top portion you have your turbo boost, everything that we've showed you before. But if you notice, they use the white stitching. Think about our Mustang reviews. A lot of times they change the stitching in certain places but leave the stock stitching in place. Here they didn't do that. They didn't leave any Japanese stone unturned. Now, as we come down, this has a specific head unit, Starlink system head unit, that is the lightest that they could find. It does not have navigation, so you're going to have to give up that, but oh well, I'm fine with that. Push button start, that nice bright red STI push button start, just like on the Type RA, same story, but on your standard STI, you don't get that. Dual climate control, nice little cubby here. While you're in your S209, you could be eating your circus peanuts. Maybe you got some Tootsie Rolls in there, Jolly Ranchers, maybe a Fireball because you feel fired up from all this cherry blossom red. You do have a 12 volt, the same STI badging that lights up at night. Look at what I was telling you about the stitch work. I love the way they brought it all the way through. This shift knob is a totally different shift knob. So this is an S209 specific. It's got the STI badge. Look in your STI, look in a magazine, use the Google. It's bright red. This is unique to this car. Now the gearbox is totally the same. So you're getting that revised third gear, you're getting all that, but they didn't have to really do a lot because this gearbox is amazing, I'm telling you. S209 specific badge here, like I said, number 153 of 209. Same iDrive control, the SI drive control. Same thing with the controllability of the center differential, because that center differential is electronic. Now, key fob, I'm gonna zonk it. I wish they would have done an S209 specific key fob, maybe stick it on the back S209. So it's standard key fob, heated seats, no ventilated seats, but you still get the Alcantara. And yes, I'll zonk that it doesn't have ventilated seats just to make everybody happy. You got the S209 embossed. This is different. You drop down STI embroidery, the Recaro embroidery, and then look at how they use this off-white material. If you're wondering why they use this material, use the Google. Look at pictures of the older S models, the S208, the S207. It's the same exact thing. Now, where we're getting cheated is that in the Japanese market, the seats were much more track specific, much more aggressive. As you can see down on the sill, you do get a specific S209 sill plaque down there, which is a nice touch. And then just like all the other Subarus now, you are getting the red seat belts as well. But why don't you come on over to the business end and I'm going to show you what's different behind the wheel of this S209. All right, guys, business end, behind the wheel. What's different? Like I said, that lower sill, I love the checkered flag. That's what it's all about, track worthy. You have that same great dead pedal, the aluminum pedals, perfectly placed for heel-toe downshifting. No automatic rev match downshifting or any of that mumbo jumbo. I'm still gonna zonk it though, because these seat bottoms are standard STI seat bottoms. Even though this is a Recaro seat, we've already had that discussion. Should be a little bit more aggressive, and that's why I was saying the Japanese market, the S208, the seats are totally different than this, and they look so freaking good. So I wish that it had those seats, so I am gonna zonk it there. Steering wheel though, you got that same Alcantara wrap steering wheel, just like the S209, just like the S209, I'm in an S209, just like the Type RA. What's different, notice how they removed the Subaru badge here, and they put a STI badge, the white contrast stitching. The white contrast stitching is different than on the Type RA, and then if you look at this, they actually took the paddles off of another Subaru product like an Outback or an Impreza, and those are the intercooler spray paddles to spray the water. So smart, because in the good old days, like on my old 2006 STI, the button was down here and you actually had to push the button down here. Now you can keep your hands on the steering wheel and just and spray the water. You can see how they brought the cherry blossom red all the way from one side to the other. Instrumentation is totally exactly the same. Right now, being inside, I can't start it up, but we are going to do the drive portion, so I'm definitely chomping at the bit. One other thing we're not going to do is going to do a back seat. The only thing that's different back seat wise is there's no armrest. They totally deleted the armrest to try to save some weight, but let's go ahead and check out the trunk because there's something very special lurking there that I want to show you. All right, guys, we have the trunk popped. What are some differences? Now, I didn't want to remove everything from inside, but there is a small tank where you put distilled water. It needs to be distilled water for the intercooler sprayer. That is located where the spare once was. You do get a flat fix kit and a little tiny air pump. Now, one of the special things that you're not gonna find on your standard STI that really pays big dividends is this bar here. So you see the cherry blossom red one here, but behind it is actually what's connecting to the top of the shock tower mounts. That is a flexible strut tower brace. So you have the flexible one up front and you have the flexible one at the rear. Now, why you want it to be flexible is that you don't want a totally rigid chassis on the racetrack. You want a little bit of give. That piece right there, if I could really just show you how much engineering goes into something like that, how many laps you need to do to test the right amount of resistance, this video would take me hours, but just very wild that they have pieces like that on this S209. But let's get to the best part. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this S209 for a spin.
All right, guys, we're leaving Dream Giveaway Garage. We're in the S209. This is amazing for me. I can't believe this is happening. This is like a dream just in itself. And like I said, this has not been officially open. The raffle is not officially open, but keep track of their website. I'm gonna put the link in the description. This will eventually open up and you can buy your opportunity to win this S209. Right off the bat, just amazing. Now, one thing I forgot to tell you earlier, MPGs, remember, this does have a gas guzzler tax on it that Subaru does pay. 15 in the city, 21 on the highway. So they did drop those MPG numbers a little bit because remember, the extra horsepower. Here's another thing, and a lot of people are scratching their head, they don't understand this, but I'm gonna explain it to you right here on Rady's Rides. This car weighs more than your standard STI. My Type RA is actually lighter than a standard STI and an S209. Now, if you're scratching your head like so many other people out there, think about it. If you're adding extra bracing, if you're adding a larger intercooler and all these other things, it's gonna weigh more. Even though the wheels are forged and forged is very light, there's still a larger wheel, so it's gonna weigh more than one that's smaller diameter, smaller size. So those are some of the changes that have brought the price up, excuse me, not the price, the weight up a little bit more, and the price up. Those things do bring up the price. Another thing, you do have a lighter flywheel. So that's going to change the personality of the engine as you are driving and whatnot. But very, very smooth. Like I said, you have that SI drive control that you can go into your different modes and whatnot. But it's great. This is a lot of fun. I can't wait to get to a section of road where we could kind of open this up and see how that extra horsepower feels. But pulling out here from a live first gear in a second, on throttle, here we go. Definitely, you can feel now, just like with a standard STI, it's old school, guys. You gotta wait until the revs are about 3,500, 4,000 RPM, and then that boost kicks in. Since we're on the topic of boost, the S209 with the larger turbo is putting out 18.9 pounds of boost. That is more boost than a standard STI. And I'm telling you, once it kicks in, that old school feel, I did feel the extra horsepower. Now, is it as much to where it just knocks you in the back of a seat like a GT500? No, but I'm telling you, that's not what this car is about. It's about all of the pieces adding up to this S209, this, you know, this STI that is a track weapon. That is the wonderful thing about this vehicle. what's really surprising is that even over the ripped up asphalt that's beneath us, it's still riding very, very smooth, which is really great as well. Let me go ahead, I'll go back down to third gear. On throttle, boost kicks in, here we go. Definitely. The thing that I love about any STI, especially this one, the hydraulic steering gives great feedback. You got the quicker steering rack on this S209, which allows turn-in to be instantaneous. Love it. But the best part is, at the end of the day, you're driving and you can just be cruising around just fine. Seats are comfortable. I would like the more bolstering, so I'm still gonna zonk that, but still overall, really, really amazing. All right, guys, we are now going to take the S209 to some places to really test to see all the engineering, everything that's been done to the handling and whatnot in this car over a standard Subaru WRX STI. Right away, just turn in, everything is much quicker, so crisp, but the great news is, I'm telling you, they've done some magic to where the ride doesn't beat you up. That's the wonderful thing about this. Driving it on the highway, it's super smooth. Yeah, you feel bumps from here and there, but I feel like my Ford Focus RS was much bouncier and hard on the body and the kidneys than this S209. But clutch is still wonderful and light. Throttle response is great. The tuning that they did to the ECU is really wonderful, and as you can see, just so easy to drive in traffic. All right, guys, we're finally here. Clean road on throttle. Definitely feel the more power. Wow, this thing, look at the way it grips. Through this sweeper, very nice. On the binders, those pads being more aggressive are gonna stop you quicker. You stop on a yen, you're giving everybody change left and right all over the place. Pulling out, I'm telling you, it's still so easy to drive. That's the great part. Second, third, unbelievable. On the brakes, brake feedback is great. Wow, look at this. Super, super smooth. Wow. Really, really wonderful setup. Here we go through some twisties. Nice quick steering. Much more grip. The level of grip that you're getting from the wider tires, and just everything feels more in tune, more harmonious. That's the wonderful thing about this S209. Just unbelievable. They did their homework, and it really shows. You get all of that wrapped up. Look at this. This sweeper just holds the line very nice. Look at that. Nice. Wow. That right there tells so much. The way the car is balanced front to rear, how it held the line, I felt so confident, so comfortable, and that's what's going to allow you to have the faster lap times. If you think that you're going to be drag racing people in this and just beating them left and right, no, it's all about the total package when you connect a bunch of twisty bits together into one huge twisty bit. Back on the binders, look at this. Wow. This car is definitely something else. All right, guys, back on throttle through some twisty bits in the third gear. Great feedback on the brakes, really nice. Look at this. Wow, look at that. Lighten it up a little bit. We got a truck on the side of the road here, unloading some cars. We'll wait patiently, and we are off and running. First gear, no brake of traction whatsoever. Third. Wow, watch this turn in is great. Look at this. Woo-hoo-hoo! Wow. Anytime there's a little bit of a indentation in the road, it hunkered down, and you just felt so confident and comfortable. It was amazing. This thing is amazing. All right, guys, we're going to do a little bit of acceleration test from a dead stop. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm not here to abuse the car, but on throttle, here we go. Letting it out. Second. You really feel that extra boost. Third. Wow, look at this. Nice. Look at how it just holds a line so nicely. So nicely done. This is a really, really amazing car. I'm just glad to be able to share it with you guys. I'm so grateful for Dream Giveaway Garage to give us the opportunity to share this with you. That's the best part. All right, guys, one last time just for you guys. I love all your support. I love all of you. Fourth gear. Wow. Amazing. On the brakes. Really, really nice feedback. Down into third. Watch this turn, and this is amazing. Wow, look at this. Unbelievable. On throttle. Back on the brakes for this right-hand bend. Here we go. Look at this. Here we go. Yes. This car, it's for the driver. There's an old saying, you know, Colin McRae was a multi-world rally champion, and he did it many times with Subaru. He also did it with other brands as well, but we won't mention those. He has a very famous quote that I love. Straight roads are for fast cars. Curvy roads are for fast drivers. And that's what this S209 is all about, is driving those twisty bits. It makes sense. The whole package makes sense when it happens. It really does. And it's just so harmonious, like I said earlier, and just so great to be able to experience this. I want one of these. I really do. I really, really do. But we're gonna go ahead. I gotta wrap it up. I gotta take it back to Dream Giveaway Garage. I would love to take it to my garage, but we're gonna wrap this up and get back to Dream Giveaway Garage. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a time here at the Dream Giveaway Garage. I definitely gotta thank Lori, Boomer, and the rest of the crew for allowing us access to their S209. Definitely stay tuned to their website because they haven't officially started the raffle giveaway for this S209, but it will be coming. And the great news is it runs basically a full year, and you could have the opportunity of getting this S209. Now for me, the big question is, should I now go and do the hunt to try to track down an S209 for myself? I guess we have to wait and see. I know some of you are probably saying, Joe, you're crazy. My thing is I love all cars, right? One of the things that I really love are specialty cars, and something like this is just very unique, and I really get what Subaru and STI did by producing this car. But if it's cars like these that you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Radies Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner. This was an eye-opener for him. This was the first time seeing the S209. He wants to go take a trip to Japan. He went to the Philippines. He said, Philippines, nothing. He wants to go to Japan, check out where this S209 came from. So we're going to fly out tomorrow, Tom, so get ready for that. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.